You know that feeling, right? Staring at a totally blank page, and your brain just freezes. Total paralysis. We've all been there. It's so easy to look at a finished piece of writing and think it just appeared, like magic. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you the real machinery behind it all. Let's get into it. And this quote, man, this just hits the nail on the head. We see the perfect final product, but what we don't see is the mess, the chaos, the totally, completely normal journey it took to get there. Think about it. All those crumpled up papers, all those deleted paragraphs. That's not you failing. No way. That is the process. And the second you start to embrace that mess, that's when you really start writing with confidence. So what are we actually talking about here? The word is composing. And I want you to kind of forget the idea of writing as just one single thing you do. Composing, now that's an action word. It's a whole process of digging into your ideas, sorting them out, and tweaking things over and over again until they say exactly what you want them to. It's a craft, not some kind of miracle. Okay, so if it's a process, what does that actually look like? Like, what do you do? Well, the great news is you're not just wandering around in the dark hoping for the best. There's a roadmap, a really clear 7-step guide that can take you from that first little spark of an idea all the way to a final piece of writing you're actually proud of. And here they are. These 7 steps are going to be our guide for the rest of this explainer. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 7 steps? That sounds like a lot, but here's the magic of it. This whole framework takes one big, scary task and breaks it down into a bunch of small, totally doable actions. It turns that giant mountain of write an essay into just, what's the next little thing I need to do? All right, let's dive into the first part, laying your foundation. We're going to group the first 3 steps together because they are all about one thing, planning. And honestly, this is where so much of the real work gets done, way before you even think about writing a complete sentence. Get this part right, build a solid foundation, and the rest of the house practically builds itself. It is that important. First up, step 1 is all about exploring your ideas. Before you put pen to paper, you gotta know where you're going. And you do that by asking yourself 4 basic questions. What's the occasion for this piece of writing? What's my subject, really? What's my purpose in writing it? And crucially, who am I writing this for? Who's my audience? Answering these questions is like setting your compass. It gives you direction right from the get-go. Okay, on to step 2, getting your ideas on paper. This is what we call prewriting. And let me tell you, this might be the single most powerful tool you have against writer's block. Why? Because its whole job is to separate the part of your brain that comes up with ideas from the part that criticizes them. It's permission to be messy, permission to just get it all out. And you've got options for how to do this. 2 really great ones are right here. On the left, you've got good old-fashioned brainstorming, literally just making a list of whatever pops into your head. It's straightforward, it's simple, and it's perfect if you're a more linear thinker. Then on the right, there's clustering. This is way more visual. You're mapping out your ideas, drawing lines to see how they connect. It's awesome for seeing that bigger picture. But wait, there's more. A third option is free writing. And this one is simple. You set a timer and you just write. Don't stop. Don't edit yourself. Don't even worry if it makes sense. It's just a pure brain dump, a stream of consciousness. It's an amazing way to sneak past that inner critic and uncover ideas you didn't even realize were in there. So you've just created all this amazing, messy, raw material. What now? Well, now we hit step 3, organize. This is where you start to bring some order to that chaos. You're going to sift through everything you just wrote down, kind of like a prospector panning for gold, and pull out the best, shiniest ideas. You arrange those into a logical structure, and boom, you've got an outline, a blueprint for your first draft. Okay, deep breath. The foundation is officially laid. Now it's time to actually start building the house. We're moving on to the next 4 steps, and this is where we get into the nitty-gritty of drafting, revising, and polishing. Let's do this. Now, this next part is maybe the most important thing you'll hear today. Your first draft has one job, just one, and that's to exist. That's it. It's supposed to be messy, it's supposed to be imperfect. Just give yourself permission to get the words down, to follow the blueprint you made. We'll fix it later, I promise. And hey, don't just take it from me. Look at what Professor Alan Myers has to say. Even the experts, the pros, know that the first go-around is just a starting point. The goal is not perfection, it's just about getting those ideas captured, so you have something to work with, something to shape and polish later on. Okay, so now we get to the really satisfying part, the final steps. This is where we take that rough diamond of a first draft and polish it into something that really shines. First, you revise for the big picture stuff. Does it make sense? Does it flow well? Then, here's a little pro tip, a secret weapon really. Read your work out loud. I'm serious, you will hear awkward sentences your eyes just skim over. After that, you zoom in, editing for grammar and style, and finally, you proofread for any of those sneaky little typos. It's all about layers of refinement. So, we've walked through the whole roadmap from step 1 to step 7. But if you boil it all down, what's the one big secret? The one thing that all confident writers truly understand that unlocks everything else? It's this, right here. Writing isn't magic. It's not some gift that only a few people are born with. It's a process, a practical, learnable, and repeatable process. It's just a skill. And like any skill, it's something you can develop by following these steps every single time you sit down to write. You see, that fear of the blank page, it doesn't come from a lack of talent, not at all. It just comes from not knowing what to do next. But now you do. You have the roadmap, you know the steps. So the only real question left is, what are you going to write?